Hello, hello, welcome back. Oh my gosh, so this is a five-part series this week with the Mila Johansen. Oopsie, Mila Johansen over here. And she's a book and writing coach, a book writing and publishing coach from Pen to Publish. And she's got a brand new program that I'm super thrilled to collaborate with her on and inviting all of you to join. Yes, it's the 12-week Pen to Publish. Get your story published in the upcoming anthology featuring memoirs and all your legacy stories. So, Mila, to kick off today's topic is why do people struggle to write? Like, what have you come across as some tips or tricks to overcome writer's blocks?
I think the hardest thing for most people is to just start. And, they've written a lot of articles about me over the last 20, 30 years, and they always end up titling it Just Start or Just Do It. And I think if I wouldn't have just started, I wouldn't have written all of the things I have written. All these are plays and musicals behind me. And my mother tricked me into becoming a writer. When I was 18, said, I know you want to be a writer. Why don't you write just one sentence a day for a month? And I said, oh, I could do one sentence a day for a month. Well, guess what? You can't. It's like potato chips. You really have to write more. And so by the end of the month, I was writing like a page or a page and a half, and I was a writer. So I'm tricking other people that I coach and teach to becoming writers by telling them to write 20 minutes a day. Or even 5 minutes a day can add up to a book. Toni Morrison, the novelist, said she wrote her first book in only 15 minutes a day because that's all the time she had between raising children and work. So even if you write 5 minutes a day, which probably you'll end up writing longer, but that's something to wrap your head around, then you will have a book eventually. And the great thing is to start, because once you start, you see it's possible. I mean, I think sometimes the biggest block most of us have, and I have it with certain projects, is to start. Just go in there and put your pen on paper, your fingers on the keyboard, and type away, write away, and let it flow. And by then you'll kind of go, I can do this. Because a lot of people, I think, they're not sure that they can write it,
Exactly. I love that.
And,
So
and
set a timer. Yes, set a timer because all those writing pages can add up to a book.
Sure. And another trick that I've done to myself is, like, let's say I want to finish a book or a play or a story I'm writing, and I just don't have it in me. I'll go sit in the library or a coffee shop where I think, wow, people are watching me. I should be working, So I go into one of those places and I can end up just writing because I'm afraid. I don't know why. I don't even know the people, but that's just like a trick I use, And another thing is to brainstorm with people and get your ideas out, because sometimes the idea I want to write about is in someone else's head. And I even go up to friends and say, I know the title of my new book is in your head. Will you brainstorm with me till it comes out? I just know these things, So there's all kinds of tricks to keep yourself going. And I always say, start with the easiest. Remember, in our Write Your Short Book in a Day, we kind of do a loose outline by pulling bullet points. Everything you want to say in that book, whether a novel or a how-to book or a business book, just put all those bullet points so you don't miss anything. Then start with the easiest. People think I need to start at the beginning. No, you need to start where you're inspired to write. So it can be the middle, the end, whatever's the easiest chapter, then do the next easiest. And pretty soon you go, wow, I have 3 or 4 done. I should keep going. And I've had you do that too, Olivia, right?
Yes, I love what you said. Sometimes going to the library is a great place for inspiration, a bookstore, maybe even just check out your own bookshelf. So, I collect a lot of books and, I have my favorite books. So even looking at that and, feeling inspired that I can be on the shelf too. That's what really has jump-started my own writing adventures with you. So excellent. I did want to show this necklace I have wearing because I recently just come off of another anthology also with Mila called the Cinderella Monologues, and so we'll be doing lots of author interviews coming up for that. and I'm probably releasing that very soon. But when speaking about your memoirs, start with an object. So perhaps in your family, you've got an heirloom or some sort of object that's very meaningful that's been passed down to you. So you can talk about that. So for me, it was this is my mother's necklace. It's a jade necklace and on a gold chain, and this is something that she sent me off to school with as for protection and to bring good luck. And if you look at it from afar, it does look like a lifesaver, and that's what I got teased at school. That savers. I was very embarrassed to go to school to wear this because the kids were making fun of me until my mother told me that she had put like a magic spell over it, right, and that it held all the beautiful blessings that she wanted to for me to experience in my life. So, but yeah, so I've talked about this in the Cinderella monologues, but I'm wondering now if I can maybe further make it its own chapter in the memoir.
Maybe you could have a book called The Talisman, the Talisman, or my mother gave me a talisman or something like that. Because and how old were you when she gave you that?
I entered first grade, so that was 6 years old.
Oh my gosh, and I've been working on her story for the Cinderella monologues today. We go over everything and make sure, we all need editors, and especially me. And so I've been reading that story over and over, and I love it. And now that you're showing it today, that made it even more special to me. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, just to go back to Mila's point about there's no shortage of inspiration and you don't have to do things in order. I used to think that, like, okay, I have to start with chapter one. I got to start with like table of contents. And I really love what you said about just write about what inspires you. So take a look around, think about your family because the reason why we're doing the whole theme around the memoirs is that it's for your family.
Yes.
It's to show that you were once a kid and to share family stories.
Your family will love you for doing it. And, I'm encouraging a lot of people that, like maybe even when they're, we can write them at any age. You can start writing a memoir when you're 16 or 20 or 30. But I think for especially people my age and a little older, it's really important to do because I don't think our children can imagine and know that we were young once. And because they only know us as we are now. Even my grandmother, I wrote her book From Cowgirl to Congress. And I knew her as a 80-year-old, 90-year-old. She helped raise me. But I never realized until I wrote this book, I mean, look at this picture of her, how young she was and how beautiful. And so we brought her into the modern age by doing putting her into that artist's way with different colors. And she was so young and vibrant and probably even more than me at that age. So it's so important that we share this with our family and our siblings and everybody, and a record of our family that will be on the bookshelf forever. And also, guess what? The great thing is you get to sell it. And you can sell as many copies of this book that we're going to put together with the authors in it as you want and actually make money on it if you want to, but also give it away for Christmas. We're trying to get it ready in time for Christmas, like December 1st.
Yes, so that's why we're promoting it now. We are launching October 4th officially. So the link is on the screen. So definitely sign up, reserve your spot. You can get a consultation with Mila. You can, talk to her about and brainstorm. So she said one of the suggestions was to brainstorm. So if you've got a chapter or story that's in your brain and you're not sure if it's going to work or not, book that consultation call with Mila and let's get your story in this writings workshop. So what do you get for 12 weeks, Mila?
Well, and let's just say that if it's hard to get the link off of there, it's under milajohansen.com. You can just go milajohansen.com and the link is right there at the top. Well, what we're going to do is for the first 6 weeks, we're going to go through the writing and what to write, give each other ideas, title our chapters, write a tiny bit in class each day. And it's every Tuesday for 2 hours. And then the second half, we're going to go through all the exciting publishing things to do, and I'm going to hold your hand all the way through. Here, push this, select that. That's how you load your book on Amazon. You get to have an author page. There's so much, and Olivia's going to interview everybody too, which is another wonderful aspect and attribute of this program. It's so comprehensive that it's life training. You will be able to publish your own books. After this, you will know how, and you will see that it's not as difficult as you might think to self-publish on Amazon. And they give us so many attributes. I love Amazon. It's fantastic.
Indeed, it is. So, and while we close this up, because we promised that we're going to come at 15 minutes a day, just short and sweet with bite-sized information every day this week. So, what is, I guess, one writing suggestion that you have for everyone that we can close this out with?
Well, of course, my main one is to just start. Just let it go. And you may start writing one book and then another book comes to you. So what I do is I open up a little form on a file on my computer for every book idea that comes. And then every time something happens, oh, I can name her that. I put it in there. So keep your mind open, because as you're writing, you're going to think of more books to do. And the thing to do is to think about writing your short book first, then write it into a little longer book, use that for the outline, and your longer book. So it's not a big chore. It's not as big as you think. And if you really want to, you could go on Zoom or Otter, and you could record yourself telling the story, and they'll give you a transcript. You'll have to edit it, but you could get a transcript easily that way. I'm interviewing one more person for our book, The Cinderella Monologues, today, and I'm going to use her transcript to put her story chapter into the book.
Oh, I love that tip. So I'm writing that here. So this is Mila's tip for all of you. Jump on Zoom. So jump on Zoom. You can record your story, grab that transcript. That way it's all written down and you can go back and edit that part. So that's a great way to start. Thank you, Mila, for that wonderful tip.
Sure, it comes out a huge mess, but it's your words exactly, and that's what I like.
It's your words exactly. Awesome. And then, I really am loving to be able to collaborate with you, because we'll be able to do video interviews with all the authors. And I really think that's a lot of fun. I love spotlighting each of the authors.
I love that too. You're so good at it. You're one of the best. I speak once or twice a week all over the world for the last 2 or 3 years about my grandmother's book and about writing the short book. And I think you're one of the best interviewers I've met. So there you are.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mila, so much. There's a reason why we continue working together, and you see both of us together on screen a lot. So there you have it. The link is below, and check the comments. And if you have questions, please, if you're watching this on replay, join the conversation. Let us know what you would love to write about. And if you need more ideas on how to overcome writer's block, talk to us. We'll be looking in the chat. And stay tuned for tomorrow, day 3 of our series. And Mila is going to show you all the wonderful things about KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, through Amazon, and talk a little bit about the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. So that's for tomorrow. Stay tuned. Take care, everyone.